Today, I didn't go for my usual walk, but I did a sort of a metaphorical walk through some quotes and some notes that needed some refreshing in my mind. And I thought it would be cool to do the 7th episode of the Creative Walks podcast a little bit differently. I will share with you some quotes and some thoughts I saved throughout the years, and I hope you'll find them useful and interesting. In the previous episodes this week, I talked a lot about creativity and curiosity, but I sort of neglected to say anything about the other side of it, which is, I think, equally as important, which is skepticism and doubt. In art and science, and I think in life as a whole, we need a combination of creativity and skepticism, meaning we'll have the courage to explore and learn new perspectives, but maybe as important, we will have the courage to put our ideas to the test, to doubt, even the things that are very cherished and we are absolutely sure of. There is a lot of talk today about the power of belief, and I think that has its place. But even when they say things like in the personal growth movement, like believe in yourself, I think what they're really saying is that you should not be so certain that you have reached your full potential. I think believe in yourself, that whole phrase, has doubt built in. It's the idea that you should doubt the very current assumptions about yourself. Because who knows how far you can go if you didn't believe you were done and you were this way and there was nothing to do about it. I think philosopher Bertrand Russell, and now we're going to get into my little quotes, he said it very interestingly about this idea. He said that what we need is not the will to believe, but the will to find out. This will to find out, to, by consequence, change your mind, is, I think, what fuels great science. And I come to realize that it's what fuels great art as well. They both feed on uncertainty. They play with the possibilities. They are not really sure of what will come out of it. Also, my quotes, this quote from Richard Feynman, who is a fantastic physicist and has a great book called Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman. Go check it out. He said about this, the path of science, but I think it applies to art too. He said that the first principle is that you must not fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool. I remember reading this about 15 years ago, and it made a big impact on me. Some people think that skeptics are like arrogant people and they are always trying to debunk things, but there's some truth to that. But I think true skeptic is one that is actually humble because he knows that he doesn't know everything, that we are easily fooled, as Feynman said. How many times in history and even in our personal lives, we were sure about something, and it turned out to be completely wrong. Actually, that reminds me of a quote by Mark Twain. Sorry, there'll be a lot of quotes today. What gets us into trouble is not what we don't know, is what we know for sure that just ain't so. And on another funny note about the concept of doubt and skepticism comes from author Douglas Adams. He wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and he said, "I refuse to answer that question on the grounds that I don't know the answer." Even though that's sort of like in the comedy realm, I think many times we come up with rationalizations and clever ways to justify our previous beliefs. It's very hard to put ourselves to test, especially in today's world where we have people divided into certain camps of politics, economics, the environment, you name it. I think it's very healthy to realize that we are actually not so sure, that we're not certain everything, and that we do have the right to change our minds. I promise this will be the one and only quote from a politician, but it's a really cool one. It's from a Brazilian president that he said, "I do change my mind. There should be no commitments to mistakes." And I think that, just to finish off, I think that ties nicely into the themes that appeared in this walks this week. If we're going to follow our curiosity, we also must get in touch with our doubts, our longings, the things that we want to see in a different light. And that is the nature of doubt and skepticism. And it's something that we actually need to do on our own. And on that note, I wanted to translate this phrase from a Brazilian musician called Raul Seixas. He's one of those unsung heroes in the alchemy of curiosity and skepticism. And he said, before you read that book that guru gave you, you must first write your own. So my name is Pedro Bonatto, and this has been the first week of Creative Walks. You can hit me up on social media at Pedro Bonatto. I'd love to hear what you think of the new show, if there are requests, things you'd like me to talk about. And I'll see you tomorrow. Stay curious and don't lose sight of your doubts.